Module 4, Lesson 12, Distributing Expressions. Learning targets. I can model and write equivalent expressions using the distributive property, and I can move from factored form to expanded form of expressions. So we are going to start by creating a model that shows 2 times 5. So I'm simply going to make a rectangle. And then I'm going to cut the rectangle in 2 because we want 2 times 5, so we need 2 boxes. And then I'm going to put in the 5s. So this model shows 2 times 5. And now we're going to make a model that shows 2 times b or 2b. So I'm going to do the exact same thing I did above. I'm going to draw a rectangle. And I'm going to cut it in 2. And then inside, I'm going to write b. So now we're going to try to come up with an expression that is equivalent to 2a plus b. So we're going to start by creating a model to represent a plus b. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to cut it in 2 because we have 2 variables. In one box, I'm going to put a. In the other box, I'm going to put b. And under it, a plus b. So now we're going to draw a model that represents 2a plus b because in our expression, a plus b is being multiplied by 2. So I'm just going to come back over to the model I already made, and I'm going to add on another rectangle cut in 2 with a and b, and underneath it, a plus b. So how many a's do we have? We have 2 a's. And how many b's do we have? We have 2 b's. So now that we have our model that shows 2a plus b, how would our model look if we grouped together the a's and then we grouped together the b's? So our model is going to look the same. So it's going to have 4 squares. But in the first 2 squares, I'm going to put A, and then the last 2 squares, I'm going to put B. And then above it, I'm going to write 2A, and then above the B's, I'm going to write 2B. So what expression could we write to represent our new diagram? So our new expression is going to be 2A plus 2B. So what conclusion can we draw from the models about equivalent expressions? Well, the conclusion we can draw is that 2a plus b is equal to 2a plus 2b. Don't believe me? Let's give our variables numbers and solve both of our expressions. So we're going to have a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 4. So I'm going to start with the first one. So 2a plus b, so 2, 3 plus 4. Remember, parentheses we have to do first, so this becomes 2 times 7, which becomes 14. Now I can do our second expression, which is 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 times 4, which is 8. And 6 plus 8 is 14. So these are equal to each other. They're the exact same. So this means that our expressions are equivalent. All right, let's do another example. And this time we are going to double 3x plus 4y. So how can we rewrite this? Well, first of all, we know that double means 2. So we're going to multiply 3x plus 4y by 2. So I'm going to put 2 on the outside of the parentheses. And now we have our new expression. So next, we're going to figure out if this is in factors form or expanded form. So the way we just wrote this, so this new one we just wrote, is in factored form. Can we write it in expanded form? Yes, we can. Expanded form means that we're going to multiply 2 by the inside of the parentheses. So we're going to have 2 times 3x, which becomes 6x, and then 2 times 4y, which becomes 8y. So now we have it written in factored form and expanded form. Can we make a model that represents 3x plus 4y? We sure can. I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to cut our rectangle in two because we have two numbers. In one box, I'm going to put 3x, and in the other box, I'm going to put 4y. Now, how can we change the model I've just drawn to represent 3x plus 4y? Well, 2 means we have to double it, so I'm going to add on 2 more boxes and put in 3x and 4y. And now that we have that, can we combine any like terms? We sure can. So I'm going to redraw it. Take my rectangle, cut it into 4s. I'm going to put the 3x's together and the 4y's together. And underneath that, I'm going to write 6x because 3x plus 3x is equal to 6x. And then underneath this other section, I'm going to write 8y because 4y plus 4y is equal to 8y. So are our expressions equivalent to each other? Yes, they are. 3x plus 4y is equal to 6x plus 8y. Now, is there a way that we could have solved this without using models? Because drawing models is kind of time consuming. And if you're trying to take a test or a standardized test, you don't have a whole lot of time. And so drawing models is pretty inconvenient. So let's do it the faster way. All right, so we have double 3x plus 4y. We know double means 2. So this is going to become 3x plus 4y. I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to multiply it by the 3x, and then I'm going to multiply it by the 4y. And yes, you should draw the arrows so you remember. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 4y is 8y. And that is the faster way to do this because that only took me about 10 seconds, where the other way took me several minutes. So let's practice using the faster way. Alright, so on screen we have a model, and it shows us that the width is equal to y and the length is equal to 4x plus 5. So the first thing we have to do is write this as an expression. So I'm going to take the 4x plus 5 and I'm going to put it in parentheses because that has to stay together. And then I'm going to put the y on the outside. Now we're going to multiply the y by both of the terms that are inside the parentheses, and I've drawn the arrows to show that. So 4x times y is going to be equal to 4xy plus y times 5, which is going to be equal to 5y. So our expanded expression is 4xy plus 5y. All right, our next example is 3 parentheses 7d plus 4e. We're going to multiply 3 by the inside of the parentheses, so 3 times 7d, and then 3 times 4e. So we're going to start with the 3 times 7d, and that's going to become 21d, plus 3 times 4e, which is 12e. So our new expression is 21d plus 12e. So now we have 3 parentheses x plus y. We're going to multiply the inside terms by 3. So we're going to have 3 times x, which is 3x, plus 3 times y, which is 3y. And so our expanded form is 3x plus 3y. And our last example is 4 parentheses 2h plus g. So we're going to take the 4, we're going to multiply it by the inside of the parentheses. So 4 times 2h is 8h plus 4 times g is 4g. So our expanded form is 8h plus 4g. Alright, so now I'm going to give you a few that I want you to practice on your own. So I'm going to give you some time with the video going to find out the answers, and then after that, I want you to pause the video if you need more time before I reveal all the answers. Alright, so I want you to find the expanded form of 8h plus 3, 3, 2h plus 7, 5, 3x plus 9y, 4, 11h plus 3g, and A, 9b plus 13. Alright, so I know that wasn't a lot of time, but I really don't want the video to go on with just radio silence for several minutes. So now I want you to pause the video, and when you have found answers for all 5 of those, to unpause the video. Alright? Pause the video. Yes, I really mean it. Pause the video. Alright, now that you've paused the video, hopefully I'm going to reveal the answers. Alright, so our answers are 8h plus 24, 6h plus 21, 15x plus 45y, 44h plus 12g, and 9ba plus 13a. Did you get them right? I knew you would. You're just so smart. And that concludes today's lesson. So now you can go and you can work on your problem set.